In the activity of the day of 24 hours, we find this symbol of 4 arms making its manifestation as the 4 points: sunrise in the east, sunset in the west, and meridian, that is midheaven, and midnight, the 4 positions of the sun. So we have the formula of the cross working as the symbol of the day and working as the symbol of the month, with full moon as one point and with new moon as another point, with half moon of the increasing and half moon of the decreasing phases. So the same symbol exists in the day as the 4 cardinal points of the day. The same symbol exists in the month as the 4 cardinal points of the month. The same symbol exists in the year as the 4 cardinal points of the year. That is Aries and Libra, and Capricorn and Cancer. So the same formula of the Lord of Preservation produces the Creator from itself, as the 4-faced Brahma or Creator. And the same formula works in every magnitude of space and time. And according to the functioning of the numbers, this double symbol of Vishnu and Brahma works as the birth of the triangle and the birth of the square, producing the basic numbers of space and time, producing 2 halves, that is, producing the potencies of these 3 numbers, that is, producing the potencies of these 3 numbers and producing their resulting numbers, the number of the septenary principle and the number of the months in an year. This produces the structure of the year and the function of the 7 rays in creation. And then there is the function of another number which has the threefold functioning, which is called the number of, what is it called? In the Bible there is a number 666. It is the number of the beast of Apocalypse. That means you should use the number thrice. You will have another number of the bigger year, producing what is called the bigger day. That is the number of years that take for the equinox to complete 1 degree. If you take the precession of the equinox into consideration, which decides the higher cycles, that is the bigger year and the bigger day, which we call the ages of the zodiac. For example, the Piscean age and the Aquarian age, etc. This should be taken as 1 day. 72 human years are equal to 1 day of the bigger cycle, and 30 days make 1 month. That means if you want to know the magnitude of the Aquarian age, it will be so many years. Every age has only so many years. After so many years of Aquarian age, you will enter into the Capricorn age. This is one of the application of the given symbols. Yes, we will continue tomorrow. Still time? Only 10 minutes. We have to stop now? Yes, if we want to stop, because we have to enter into the next aspect. Instead of doing it, we stop it, continue tomorrow. Thank you. You try to make an application of this formula, and be ready to have a continuation of the subject tomorrow. We were speaking of a salt crystal. Don't be confused that I am continuing morning's lecture. Salt is required only in this lecture also. A pinch of salt. And we were talking of sodium and chlorine and molecules and atoms and the various intelligences that are working with the atoms, who are called the Devas. All these things could not be understood by each and every one. Even the greatest scientist of any century knows only a little of atoms and molecules. Even in the 20th century, human being knows about atoms only in a negative and destructive way. He has to know about 99% of the atoms still. That much we know, that the atoms of one substance are different from the atoms of another substance. No one existing on the face of this earth knows fully what happens with every atom of every substance. But at the same time, we know the total effect of each atom, which we call salt, and another substance, sugar. So here, the word salt indicates all the known and unknown phenomena that are happening in it. So we can know only by words and not by knowledge of the things. So you can call this as a convenience to make each other understand about the reference of a substance. So the word salt can be called a symbol because we use it only symbolically to indicate that it tastes something like that. Similarly, if we use the word sugar, it indicates some other substance. We don't know the chemistry of either salt or sugar completely, but we know the total effect of each substance. The total effect of the one substance is saltish to our tongue, and the total effect of another substance is sweet to our tongue. When we are talking, we want to convey to each other, so we use words which suggest the totality of the substance. So this is another example of symbolism used by us unconsciously. Whether we call it symbolism or not, we are automatically using it. And all these things are concealed in the salt crystal and revealed by our behavior towards it. So there is a sentence used in Freemasonry. The teaching of Freemasonry is of truth concealed in symbol and revealed through allegory. This is what Freemasonry tells us. But almost all the people, they repeat the sentence like parrots, not knowing what it is. It is concealed in a symbol means we know only the symbol. For example, the name of the substance. The secrets of it are concealed in it. And only when salt is used, we know how it behaves. The man in the kitchen knows some part of the behavior. The man in the laboratory knows some other part of its behavior. And the man in the clinic knows some other part of the behavior. The one fellow knows only the physical properties of salt. Another fellow knows only chemical properties. A third fellow knows only biochemical properties. A fourth fellow knows only the pharmaceutical properties. A fifth fellow knows only the medical properties. A sixth fellow knows only the homeopathic properties. And still there is secret in the same substance which is enough for 10,000 people to discover and use. That is the nature of creation, and that is the nature of nature. And when we speak of it, we speak that truth is concealed in a symbol and revealed through allegory. This is one interesting point about symbolism. Those who are in Freemasonry will be able to enjoy the significance of this statement. Before we go into the next interesting point, a few people questioned about a particular biological aspect. If the number of human beings on this earth is same or is it increasing nowadays? I said I would answer it in the class so that it may be useful to all of us. So with your permission, I will spend about 5 minutes on the issue and then go to the next point of symbolism. Generally speaking, the number of souls that enter into the human kingdom from animal kingdom are limitedly uniform, though not arithmetically the same always, because our counting and arithmetical calculation is subject to many corrections depending upon the various planetary phenomena of this earth. So, at least the number of human souls that exist on this earth is uniformly same, at least. But there are certain periods when the number of souls that enter into human kingdom will enormously increase, and there are periods when it is minimum. So we can say there are maximum and minimum periods, and we are in the increase of the maximum period for the present. One guiding point about this aspect in ancient astrology is the understanding of the zodiacal signs and their grouping. For example, there are human signs and the signs of the quadrupeds and the signs of the insects and the signs of the water plants and animals. This grouping is there in astrology. It is roughly used in the modern market astrology, but its significance is different in the spiritual or esoteric astrology. For example, if you take Aries, Taurus, they are quadruped signs. They are the signs of the four-legged beings on this earth. If you take Gemini, it is a human sign, biped sign. Cancer, the sign of the crabs and the water animals and plants. Leo comes to the quadrupeds. Virgo under the human signs. Libra, a human sign. Scorpio under the water and insect signs. Sagittarius is cut into two because the first half is under the human sign and the second half is in the quadruped sign. First 15 degrees a human sign, second 15 degrees a sign of quadrupeds. That is why this horizontal line is given in the sign. That means the sign is cut into two parts. In its symbolism also, the first part indicates a human being and the second part indicates the body of a horse. Of course, it means many things. Among the living beings and biological kingdom, the first 15 degrees are responsible for human birth. The second half or 15 degrees are responsible for the birth of horses, donkeys, etc. While in the bigger cycles, the sign indicates the return of the Savior, who returns again and again in cycles and who establishes the law on earth once again, coming on a white horse with a drawn sword, as he is described in the Puranas and in the Revelation of Saint John. And in the Puranas it is said, this fellow will come from the village Shambhala. So every sign has many significances. And for the present, it is enough for us to remember that it is half human and half quadruped sign. And Capricorn is half quadruped and half water animal. Yes, sorry, half quadruped and half. It should be written here. That is why it is cut here into two. That means the first 15 degrees are responsible for the birth of a type of quadrupeds that belong to the species of the goat, etc. Capra means goat. That's why it is called Capricorn. We have the English word capricious. If a person is impulsive and unpredictable, we call him capricious fellow. That means a goat-like mentality. See how the goat stands and suddenly jumps somewhere or other. And the second half is a water animal which has some correspondence with crocodile. And we have Aquarius, which we all know because it is our sign. It belongs to us. We, the present human beings, are trying to help that sign. We are trying to elevate it. And then there is the fishes, the water animals. And remember these three groups. Whenever the equinox is passing through these signs, there will be a sudden increase of number of animal kingdom on this earth, especially from plant kingdom into water animals. It enormously increases. And whenever it is entering into one of the quadruped signs, there is a sudden and enormous increase in the number of the quadrupeds on this earth. And whenever it is entering into one of the human signs, there will be an enormous increase of the human fellows from the animal kingdom. Yes, souls are enormously thrown into the human kingdom. So there is rather a hastening of evolution into human kingdom. And also the animal-like behavior of the human beings, because we have just come from the animal kingdom into the human kingdom. There will be more emotionalism than in other ages. And there will be more differences and more wars and more internal disturbances in any country. This is one thing which is very important and which is a periodical change. And now we have just entered into the human sign Aquarius. That is why the enormous increase of the human fellows on this earth. It is a seasonal effect. Just as we have seasons in the year, we have seasons in the bigger years also, which we call the ages. This is the explanation for which you asked, I think. Is it? And once again, when we have, when the equinox comes back to Capricorn, the number of human beings on this earth will be once again limited. And another interesting aspect now is when suddenly there are more number of souls from the animal kingdom into the human kingdom, there should be a compensatory delay of further promotion of animals into human kingdom. For this reason, for the present, almost there are no animals who are entering into the human kingdom. The door between the animal kingdom and the human kingdom is almost closed for the present. This is hinted in Alice Bailey's books also. And Another interesting point is evolution is hastened. That is, the speed of evolution is increased for the time being, and the number of births and deaths required for an experience of death and birth will be also increased. The rate of birth and death will be increased. That's the reason why we have global wars and mass scale political massacres. For example, the Jews were persecuted and the Muslims are killing Muslims at a large scale now. We find such phenomena more common in the present age because the rate of birth and death should increase, and we are also among the animals. We behave only according to our law of nature and the human fellow cannot transgress the law of his seasons. And another example is peculiar methods like legalization of abortion, etc. Such things increase the rate of birth and immediate death enormously. This is the matter. No, because there is an increased smuggling of animals into human kingdom. We have to complete the spiral of evolution in a shorter period of time. I think yesterday I made a mention of a day called 72 years. That is the time taken for the equinox to pass through 1 degree of the zodiac. 4 such days, earth years. Of course, here the years are to be taken as lunar years, not the calendar year. This is the period through which there is an enormous increase of the human fellows on this earth. And 4 days, 72 years is it is 72. 72 human years is equal to 1 equinoctial day, because it takes 72 years for the equinox to take precession through 1 degree. So many human years indicate 4 equinoctial days. For 4 days it increases, and for the next 3 days it exists at the same rate, and then there is 1 week of the equinox. Then it begins to reduce, and then another 7 it reduces more. It comes to the minimum. Again it increases, and again it goes on increasing. So there is another cycle which should be applied to this day. The method of applying is like this: 14 days increasing, 14 days decreasing, and 1 day as cusp day. Here also 1 day as cusp day. So you have 15 and 15 days, 30 days making 1 month. Like this you have to calculate the calendar of the equinox. This is what you find in the Indian scripture. And another interesting point is the law of correspondences working in this. You find the full moon and the half moon taking 7 days, and then the new moon another 7 days, again the half moon another 7 days, and again the full moon another 7 days. It is 28 days plus 1 full moon and 1 new moon, 30 lunar days of month. You will find the 4 quarters of the month. This has a correspondence with your equinoctial point, and these two have correspondences with the 14 manus and manvantras, and then a dissolution which is called pralaya, and then 14 Manvantara under Pralaya. So the same formula holds good in many magnitudes.